Hello everybody, Terrence Pop here with another episode from the Lair. Alright, let's see, where we leave off last time. I believe we're doing the mini ranger school in the Q course. Yeah, hang on a minute. So, yeah, I got stuck doing the mini ranger school, and I can remember, it's kind of being a dick. I mean, I was the admin first sergeant, so every night, you know, or whenever they wanted to go admin, I had to take a roll call and make sure everyone was going on sick call and doing the inventory, making sure everyone had their weapons and all their fucking nods and other sensitive items, to include the batteries and shit. And you would think, you know, things would be a little bit different when you get up there and the guys are in the special forces, but you know, people lose shit and do stupid shit. Doesn't matter what fucking color hat you got in, there's still idiots abound. I mean, what are you gonna do? But the fact that I was doing basically ranger school for a second time really put me in a surly disposition. I can remember one instance where they had moved somebody up into the PL, and there was another guy being the platoon sergeant, and and I was just a rifleman, crunchy guy. So I'm off pulling security on the far right side of the patrol base, and starts to rain like a motherfucker. Okay, now out there in Fort Bragg, there's a lot of sand, so the water doesn't really hit the ground and to seep in there. It kind of builds up. So literally within 5 minutes, I'm laying in water. It's about 3 inches fucking deep. Okay, I'm not having it. So I get up, I take a knee, and it keeps fucking raining and raining. Oh, God damn it. So you know what? Fuck this. I stand up. I'm just standing there while it's fucking just raining. And I remember they come up and they're like, "Bob, get down, pull security, get down." And I look back at them, I'm like, "Fuck you, man. I'm not laying in that shit." So, the PL comes out, and I'm like, "I'm not fucking laying in that mud. I'm not doing it. I'm not fucking laying in water. I'm not playing these silly games. I'm just not doing it. I'm not feeling it." So, the cadre comes up, and he's like, I remember Sergeant Becker, he's smoking, it's raining like out of him. He's like, "What's going on, Pop? What's going on?" I told him, "This is the second time I did range school. I'm not laying in that goddamn puddle. I'm just not fucking doing it." He's like, "Okay. All right, well, just lean up against the tree then and pull security." "He ain't laying down. He ain't doing it. Fuck it. Just keep going on. We won't hold it against you." And that's how I went for the rest of the fucking time. I mean, if I was in an area that was fucked up, I just stood up and pulled security. It's fuck this shit. I'm not having it. I mean, a couple guys were pissed at me, but they all knew it was bullshit, and they got over it. And I had a couple guys that were just fucking idiots, man. I mean, just fucking idiots. And it's not the fact that they were stupid. They're just straight up assholes that just lived to be abrasive and sow dissent among the group. And I just fucking had enough of this one guy. I'm not gonna say his name, but I did one of the same fucking tricks that I did to other people in ranger school that I didn't like, that I did to this guy. I was a platoon sergeant on this particular mission, and it was dark. And I'd gone around and I'd pulled security, I checked on all the people pulling security to make sure the perimeter was secure. And onto the far, it's like the 3 o'clock position, there was a significant drop off. Basically, it was an erosion ditch. If we were in the desert, it'd be called a wadi. It was about 18 feet deep. So, I remember that's such a dick. I pulled the guy who was pulling security there, and I moved him about 20 some odd feet to the one side. And the guy who was the raging asshole, I remember I had him called into the middle of the patrol base. I'm like, "All right, there's a gap in security over there. Just walk out there. I'm gonna need you to pull security." And I'm like, "Oh, I'll just keep waving you and just pay attention. And when I tell you to get down, you get down." And I remember I'm doing this, and he's like walking, and he's like kind of walking backwards, looking at me, and I just see him go, oh! He went right into the wadi. I'm such a dick. That was so satisfying. I mean, I was like, oh. And one of the guys that was with me, he was a ranger guy. He was from 2nd Bat, but he was there a few years before me. Named Vanna from Boston, great guy. He's like 6'4", big dude, built like a house. And he was standing right there, and he saw it go down. And he kind of laughed. He put his hand behind my back. He's like, Pop, I feel you. I understand he's raging asshole. But come on, we only have so many people. You can't go breaking them and walking them off cliffs and stuff, Pop. Come on now. Come on. Be a team player now, would you please? I was like, all right. So they brought him back up, and he wasn't hurt or anything. I mean, he was bruised up and stuff. And he's just like, you fucking did that on purpose. I'm like, maybe I did, maybe I did. He goes, I'm gonna fuck you up. And Vanna's like, hey. In Pop's defense, you are an asshole. Now you just tone it down to 8, and we'll all get along. But if you keep performing at asshole level 10, I will beat your ass. And the cadre guy, he's just sitting there like, can we get on with it? Like the whole drama, the whole thing just like went over his head. He didn't even give a fuck. He's just like, come on, we got shit to do here. Write a goddamn soap opera. What are we? You bunch of Latin women here want to watch your stories? Fucking, you got a hard time, motherfucker. Get on it. What are you gonna fucking do, man? All right, here's another one here. You like this? Oh yeah. So we're doing, we're still doing the whole fucking thing, and then you gotta get so many goes, or you're gonna get either recycled or kicked out of the fucking course. One of the guys there, really cool dude, he was one of those skydiver types, and I went with him on one of our 3 or 4 day weekends to go to a jumping jamboree. I'll tell that story here, either this one at the end of this one or the next one. But he was in charge of this one mission where we just had to do a raid. You have your support, your security, assault, and the whole deal. It's pretty easy. It's not that difficult. But he fucked this thing up 3 ways to Sunday. I mean, he fucked it up. And like I literally, I saw him I saw him planning it. And I wanted to say something, but the cadre was right fucking there. I couldn't say anything. So he fucking fails it. So, it's the next day. He pulls me aside when the cadres aren't around, and he's asking me like, "Hey man, I failed this mission. I'm gonna have to redo it again in a couple days. What did I do wrong?" So I make him. He gets a piece of cardboard. He writes this fucking elaborate, crazy plan where he's got 2 people doing this and 3 people doing that and 4 people shooting in this way. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing, man? No, that's too many moving parts. People are gonna get shot. No. Okay, put your support here. Okay, then you have your assault line here. You have your security on each sides of that. Okay, when you say go, the support team opens up fire on the objective. Okay, let them shoot for a good 2 minutes, and you have them lift and shift. And as they're lifting and shifting, you have the assault go across the objective and then stop at the other end. Period. Okay, and then you have your peoples come back, and you do the first aid, the search, whatever you're gonna do, and then you all come back from you bring everyone back to the same point. You count everyone off. It's just that simple. And I walked him through it 2 or 3 times, and he got to go. And a couple other guys were like, "Why'd you help him out, man? He should already know that." I'm like, dude, I just can't let people fail, man. I just can't do it. It is what it is. And another thing that they had us do, because a lot of the soldiers that go through the Q course, they've already gone through PLDC. And that was like the beginning sergeant school, and then there's one used to be called BNOC, which was one that was above that. You basically had to have that to get promoted to E6 or what have you. And then there's ANOC, which is the Advanced Non-Commissioned Officer course, which you go to as in E7. Okay, hang on. So, a lot of guys are getting screwed out of this, so they actually ran a miniature BNOC, in the qualification course. And they basically said, all right, we're gonna pack 3 weeks of shit down into 1 week, and this is gonna count as your BNOC. And at the end, you just got to give an oral presentation for 10 minutes, and then it is what it is. So I was very careful here. We're going through the whole thing, and we take a couple tests. It was really easy. So to get to the whole, oral presentation, and this is before we had PowerPoint and shit. I raised my hand and I'm like, so what can this be on? He's like, anything. You just gotta have a subject, keep our attention, for 10 minutes, and that'll be that. I'm like, anything, huh? Okay. So we go into this movie theater. I believe it was on Fort Bragg. It was on Fort Bragg, and somebody would get up on the podium and they would have like the little, there were slides, and then you have like the member microfiche or what you want. You put it on the overhead, and then you talk about it. So, on my particular day, I decided I was gonna, read letters from Penthouse, because I did ask them if it could be on anything. And I remember, I start reading it, and they're like, all right, Pop, stop right there. No, I think I'm totally busted. But Sergeant Becker is like, all right, make sure you shut that door. All right, and shut that door over there. And I need somebody outside that door. I don't want nobody walking out of it, because this is gonna get good, and it can go bad. So I'm reading the whole fucking deal, and everybody's like, oh yeah. Oh. And then the sergeant major comes in and everyone stops, and he's just like, everyone's like freaking out. Bro. The sergeant major sits down. He's like, go ahead, Pop. Start reading it again. And I remember the sergeant major's like, all right, stop. Is that door shut back there? No, we have people out there. So they both let me fucking read this fucking Penthouse letter. I think I read like 2 Penthouse letters. I got a Gomax. I got the golf clap, and I like, that's very good. Yeah, here we go. And that's how I did BNOC. It's just that fucking simple, man. It was great. All right, hang on. Yeah, we did like a first aid thing, where we did a week of the Combat Lifesaver, and this isn't like it wasn't like any of the Combat Lifesaver courses I've done up to that point, because they had us, give IVs, do cut downs. We administered some medications, treated for burns, sutures. We hypothetically went through pulling teeth, which we didn't really do that, but we worked through the whole thing. Carried people around, built litters, practiced all that shit. Air evacs. That took pretty much an entire week to get done, and that was actually pretty good. And you have a bunch of dudes. You give them all kinds of, what are they gonna do? They're gonna fuck with each other. I remember stuck this one dude in the arm. He was a fainter. So they're trying to give him a fucking IV. He's like, oh, be careful. I don't, the guy's like, sorry. They go, faint. So, I mean, we did it to like 2 or 3, that's like 3 times in a row. Finally they're like, quit fucking with the guy. That's just fucked up. Look, soldiers, they are the cruelest motherfuckers to each other you could even imagine. But when this shit hits the fan, I'd rather not have anyone there. I wouldn't settle for anyone other than a soldier. I mean, because they're fucking, they'll laugh at you at your worst time, but they'll also be standing next to you at the worst time in your life, slinging lead and handing you a fucking mags, sharing their food and water with you, and God bless you for it. There's a lot of guys out there just don't seem to understand, the guys you go to high school with, you think your best buddies, for the most part, when you get out of high school, 5 to 7 years later, you're not going to hear from those guys again. All right. I was fortunate. I went to high school with a very, very good friend of mine. He's like a brother to me. In fact, he is my brother. Not by blood, but it is what it is. We grew up together, went to high school together, hung out. We both went in the Army together, and then later on, we were in the same National Guard unit. We both went to Iraq. I covered his six on a lot of shit. He covered mine, And if you can get one person in your life that is a brother to you like that will have your six, no matter what, you're a wealthy man. It doesn't matter what your bank account says. All right. In my particular circles, I got about half a dozen guys like that, and I'm beyond wealthy, and I'm very, very glad for it. All right, gentlemen, I think that's about it. We're coming up on almost 17 minutes-ish, so that's about all of memory lane I'm going to go down tonight. We're going to start off, with a lot of the hard classes on the weapons and stuff coming up in the Q course. It's very interesting and hilarious. You guys take it easy.